From Alaska, Grim After Dark, starring John and Danny. This is Tricky Dick. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's John and Danny.
What's up, guys? This week we welcome Best in Factions Chuck Arnett to the show as God, my voice cracks. Finally, puberty hit. To the show as he helps wade through the weird of the last 7 days. Tries to talk about what used to be the best grown-up slumber party in 40K. My name is John. It's pretty grim after dark.
Let's welcome to the show Chuck Arnett. Chuck.
Hey,
Thanks for coming on tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a Ewan McGregor macro. Guys, okay. Warhammer canceled now. We're just purely going to talk about the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan. So.
No, we're not doing it. I haven't seen episode 3 yet. We're not talking about it yet.
Guys, the infamous Warhammer leaker Miniac has had his reputation restored after the real leaker was accidentally highlighted on this Facebook post here, telling us that this Possess model was a leak from someplace. So it was Warhammer community all along, guys. It was an inside job. Jokes aside.
We did it. We solved it.
We did. And then I was going to ask in my ear here real quick, super producer, person whose name I'm not allowed to use anymore. Why does Ewan McGregor keep on appearing on our screen? That's fair. He just wants to say hi.
Why does he go away? Why doesn't he just come and hang out?
Just keep him there. Yeah, you can just bop the whole time. So Chuck, prolific Chaos player. Danny, Chaos is one of the armies for 40K, so you have a Chaos army. Chuck, what's your take on the new Possess models?
They're fantastic. I'll definitely be collecting a bunch of them. But as any Chaos player will do, they have to be changed. They have to be modified for sure.
The stat line's seen some change. What's your take on the new Possess stat line?
Well, let me tell you, you can do a lot with 2 inches. And going from 7 inches to 9 inches of movement, it's really going to make a big difference. But I think beyond that, getting the wounds and the toughness, and then just a crap ton of attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to thank you for coming on. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi is in no way very distracting right now. It's super cool. Danny, what's your take on the new Possess stat line? Much like you've asked your wife before, is 2 inches enough to make a difference?
Yeah, so it's really important to me that I let you know that you stole that joke from Chuck, and that it's not right of you to do that. You can't literally hear someone tell a joke and then 2 minutes later use that. Like, come on, man! Like,
I absolutely can. Let me tell you why. If you guys are watching if you guys are watching the edited version of this, then it tells a very different story of how this goes. But Bulglogin on Twitter letting us know I'm sitting in here at 5.5 inches of movement, which is about average for most things. Danny, all jokes aside, because Chuck hasn't told one for me to steal in the last couple of minutes, what's your thoughts on the stat line?
No, I think it's a great stat line. It'll be interesting to see if the points and rules are kind of comparable to that, so that they become a more used choice. Although right now, I think that there's probably a lot of Death Guard players who are probably still running Possess because, like, everything else went up in points for no reason. So,
what else is going to be needed to make this new unit work? Like, what combos are you seeing to kind of make the most out of this profile?
I actually think probably the most important piece from here is that how many can you put in a Rhino? Can you still stuff 10 in there, or is it you're going to have to like do 5? Or can they go in at all?
Yeah, is it 0, right? Yeah.
Dude, Chuck, the jokes just write themselves. Like, will 10 do? Will you just have to stuff in 5? If you're just watching this, Danny is back up in Alaska for the summer, so that means both he and I are on the same internet connection, because I think Alaska has one Wi-Fi router in the McDonald's downtown. That has to do with the internet for the entire state. Chat's here asking you guys, starting with Chuck, what possessed the possessed designers to design the possessed that way?
Oh, it's if the possessed can possess a possession, they will possess.
It did. It's like an old limerick about the woodchuck.
It's tr-
Guys, new Heresy is inbound. As the stream viewers get to see the Horus Heresy abridged and in meme form, as we're not going to say anything about this picture here that we're putting up, just to be mean about it. Also, I'm on a big IT crowd kick, so I got a big
Oh man,
love it. Are you excited for Heresy coming out? Like Danny, I know you're pretty hype about it here. Chuck, what's your kind of take on the 30K world?
I figure the faster it comes out, the better, because then my Chaos Space Marine book will come.
While the box set was instantly popular, with the majority of the 30K range selling out on Saturday, in spite of the multi-week window, but the evergreen wine group, Warhammer Army Painters, had this to say, where they let us know that, boom, just wanted to browse the Games Workshop site considering getting back in. But oh no, you are in a queue and you have 10 minutes to complete your purchase because stocks are limited. Are you people falling for this? Well, obviously. Any company with this level of arrogance and disrespect for their customers is ripe for a competitor to steal their market. So I will stick to Airfix. I was enjoying the better value for money per model too. I'm turning off commenting as the brainwashed don't seem to get it. Starting here with Chuck. What's arrogant about a queue system?
Oh, well, they have an infinite number of these boxes. And that queue's just there to trick you. It's you gotta follow all the dots and lines. I got a graph over here I can show you about how they put this together. What I'm impressed by with this tweet is how well written it is for what is just an angry tweet because they couldn't buy a product, right? Like, I'm way more accustomed to just like every other word is misspelled, a couple expletives. Like, this is just really kind and nice.
Would this person be
oh
less upset if it was a line system instead of a queue system?
maybe
You're-
And why do you make the assumption that this person is an American?
Because they don't like queues. And British people, famously, they want to have queues and lines for literally
Yeah,
everything.
do the British people love to stand in line? Is that their deal?
Yeah. Though I would say it's
Okay.
it was probably British based on the fact that they said the Airfix kits, which is a term I've not
Yeah,
heard for a very long time,
yeah.
was
Airfix
better value for
models,
money.
for those of you who don't know, are just stupid model planes. So if you like those, you'll love this guy's tweet. Probably, I don't know.
Remember to sign up for the Las Vegas Open 2023. Guys, tickets are on sale now. If you want a high roller ticket, they're gone. If you want a package ticket, they're already gone. They sold out within the first hour. Championship tickets are still available, as well as other 40K events and other game systems. There's dozens of different tournaments. Go to frontlinegaming.org for your ticket for the Las Vegas Open 2023. Chuck, you're a prolific painter, prolific
Yeah.
converter. So come on a journey with me, if you will. One that sort of starts in fear. It says, thanks for the ad. This is from the Chaos Knights group, by the way. Here's some pics of a Tyrant I converted. The beginning looks dodgy, I know,
Oh,
but
no.
if you look at their later pictures, you will see what it becomes. Trust me, you won't be disappointed, but the paint job is still a work in progress. Tell me, Chuck, what are you expecting to see?
They're going to have sort of awkwardly attached a building to the top of it, but not like
Oh
not
no.
like not blended them together. There's just a building that's been stuck on top of the knight.
And
I'm
is it
expecting
just
it to
like
be at
kind of,
least 2 feet tall total, and then
is it
maybe
like
like an extra cannon coming out of the building.
Have you
a World
seen
War
this
II
already?
cottage?
Oh man, I feel
uh,
good.
For Glockling on Twitch, let us know there will be a 20K Fall of the Eldar gatekeeping redo. But now all I can imagine, by the way, is that original 30K players are like the Eldari race right before the fall, where they've just become so like masochistic with each other in their celebrations that they're going to destroy the entire universe for the younger race. Is this conversion going to end up looking better or worse than a Chaos Knight Tyrant would?
Then the thick-eyed Necron will look better than this. I
Yeah,
can't
do you think
imagine
this will look?
anything would look.
That's
Go ahead.
fair. Well, hey, I was going to say, you can't imagine that anything would look better? Or, yeah.
I think anything would look worse than this, but okay, better.
Yeah. Well,
Look,
guys, let's
man,
move on to
I'm not a
step.
complicated.
That's fair. You're fair. You're straightforward, simple, and you're using all the Wi-Fi. We're gonna see what I refer to as stage 1. Guys, for the benefit of those in chat and those listening to the audio version, Danny, what are you seeing right now?
So what I see is a Incredible Hulk toy that has no conversion work done to its massive feet. And keep in mind, this model's feet are huge. Like, we're talking the size of, like, I don't know, maybe a Ridge Runner. And then someone has chopped off the Hulk hands and instead added, I think, pipes or like the tops of like exhaust stacks to it.
Those
And
are
then
the pipes from the AdMech scenery.
Yeah. Right. And then the top is like, it pisses me off, first of all. Like, I just like to say this because Chuck called it without even actually ever even seeing it. There's the top of a building on top of the Hulk, and its head has been chopped off. So, yeah,
That's
It's
fair.
kind of like they just put a bag on his head. I don't.
that's exactly right.
He's not super pretty, so it works out. I'm going to remind you, the original message here says it does start off dodgy, but the later pictures become better. So
So
we're
far,
still,
accurate.
so far, 100%,
I mean,
absolutely.
I don't see how these are going to get worse, but okay.
Danny, how do you think this is going to turn out?
Well, John, I think this person has put I think this person has put some effort into this model. And I don't want to discourage somebody from like actually working hard on their models. But maybe not use a toy as a base. Like, maybe use like, a model as a base instead.
One of my
Okay,
Chaos
yeah.
Knights literally made out of a toy, so I'm offended now.
Well,
Danny.
Chuck, you know what? I think your model probably sucks.
Yeah. And now your anime doll collection is one girl character lighter than before. Let's reduce these fears a little with what I'm going to call a work in progress shot even, which has what I can only describe as extensive green stuff work. Chuck, you do a bunch of conversions. Do you have a bunch of experience with green stuff?
I do have a lot of really bad experiences with green stuff.
So and then for people who might not know, if you're just kind of playing with your Ultra Scars in 30K, what is green stuff?
It's a 2-part mix putty that you mix them together. That gets all over your hands, and then you have to keep it wet constantly while you attempt to sculpt something and ruin your model with it. And it's a premium in order to buy that as well. So it's it's just really it strikes out in many different ways.
It's a
Talented
premium.
people, yeah, can make really amazing things with it, which I'm hoping to see now that I've seen
I was
this
gonna
work
say
in progress shot.
it's a premium way to ruin your model.
Oh
I
yeah,
think is the best way I've seen to describe it because I've tried to do cloaks, hair, whatever. Terrible. I can't do it. I just end up with moist hands and a ruined model. It's terrible here, but it's starting to look good. It is
yeah.
hard to use. It's starting to look good. It's starting to see progress. Danny, kind of what are your thoughts on this here?
Added, like, they pushed skulls into it, or maybe they glued the skulls on and added some green stuff ribbons and then pushed the green stuff into it. So they bought one skull pack from Games Workshop and one scenery kit
And
for
an
the
Incredible
AdMech
Hulk
scenery.
toy.
And one
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk toy, which was probably on discount. And they're making a night out of it.
That's fair.
like
And
it.
then finally, the finished. Well, he says the painting isn't finished, but the mostly finished result here is this guy right here. Chuck, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a pretty cool orc thing.
The face is pretty orky.
Yeah.
I have to say I was very surprised at what came out of it because I was like, wow, that doesn't actually look like a Hulk model. They did a pretty good job. Danny, I'm loving your reaction that I can see and no one else can. What are your thoughts on this Night Tyrant model here?
I like that it's a pretty nice ore conversion is like code for that's a shit conversion.
I was just going for his face looks like an orc face, not a chaos face.
That's okay, fair. It does kind of look like an orc face. I wish it didn't. I wish it looked like, a Chaos Knight face. That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, it's obviously, a Nurgly thing. He didn't want to just use a Glockkin with a gun attached to it, like many other people do.
I would
It's a
have
proven
preferred
technique.
What was the thing? Just because you're unique doesn't make you special. I am impressed with it. Based on like the first picture compared to where it's at right now, it's like 1,000 times better than I thought it would turn out.
Okay, you're right. It is. But it needs like some plasticard work or like some way to like transform it. It still looks like a stupid Hulk toy.
Mm-hmm.
Just covered in stuff. It's just got a bunch of stuff glued to it. Like randomly.
I also like at the core of it, the toy had a dumb pose.
Yeah.
If they'd move the
like
arms
an actual knight.
Yeah. I mean, yes. But that's why you gotta get rid of it, right? Like if they put some action in that pose, it would go a long distance.
It's true.
I just think that they have a purple and gold color scheme. Therefore, it's fantastic, no matter what there. Guys, a buy-sell page post caught my eye, and I'm wondering if you can tell me why. We put this picture up on screen. Danny, Chuck, chime in when you see what it is that I most noticed in this. Well, let me get the thing. It's because of this beautiful boy in the upper right-hand corner of the screen that got cut out of the one we can see. It is the Imperial Fist monkey.
That's a war dog. They just haven't finished the conversion yet.
Chuck, starting with you here, how does the Siege of Terra change if the Imperial Fists had access to gorillas?
There wouldn't even be a siege. There's no way chaos would even come.
That's fair.
We just run.
I've read Cato Sicarius' novels. I know that Space Marines are really good against monkeys and apes. Sicarius was able to easily defeat one that was cybernetically enhanced, so I think the Imperial Fists have nothing going for them here.
It's a good thing the Ultramarines didn't even show up.
Mighty Joe Young is not going to save the Siege of Terra. Okay.
Yeah, guys, the quality questions are going to keep coming here. Chuck, I had way too much fun writing these questions. Is there a danger of Imperial Fist employed monkey mistaking the Imperial Fist's wing of Zephyr fighters as bananas for a dangerous Kong versus plane scenario?
Yeah, I think so. I think you need to keep that out of any kind of city fight. You can't combine the two of them in a city. You're gonna have instant problems.
It's fair. Danny, you're rubbing your head in extreme pain as you realize that I'm trying to do monkey banana-based comedy on a competitive podcast network.
No, he's not a monkey. He's an ape.
You don't know that? It's a blurry picture I took off of Facebook.
He's clearly a gorilla, John.
That's fair. So you're okay. To recap, your problem with my question, is there a danger of monkey mistaking the Imperial Fist wing of Zephyr fighters as bananas for a dangerous Kong versus plane scenario was the fact that I miscategorized it as a monkey instead of a gorilla?
Correct. You've nailed it.
Oh man, law school's changed you. I wrote this morning before I checked Warhammer Community, but this leaked high quality image from either Miniac or Warhammer Community is getting too hard to keep the joke straight at this point here. Looks like, as we have a new commissar, heavy weapons team, Sentinels, and a new special character. Danny, what are your thoughts on the fact that this is Creed's daughter?
I think it's great. I think this is totally a good way to go. I'm kind of bummed that like this great coat isn't missing an arm, because didn't he lose an arm in the 13th Black Crusade?
Yeah, when the entire planet that he was on blew up.
Well, yeah, but Tracian saved him. Like, he's in stasis somewhere. So
I think it's terrible that Tracian never repaired his coat. I would imagine he has access to a couple different tailors.
Well, like I was saying, obviously the planet broke before the seams of his jacket did, and so it's got some nice little tears in it. You think that they couldn't repair that, but who knows? Maybe there's no more, like, tailors weren't on the list of approved personnel to be evacuated from Cadia. So they died on the planet. There's no way anybody can fix that young Canadian weave on that.
Also,
On
there's
that gray
so
coat.
much paperwork to do to have an Imperial tailor take care of something for you. Like it takes a decade.
It does,
So
and we're
it's,
not
it's
quite
finally
there.
fixed.
And it totally hasn't been 200 years since Cadia exploded either. So it's not it's clearly that's the issue.
That is. Chuck, what do you think about this updating of older character models? So instead of kind of giving us a new version of Creed, we're giving like a completely different character, but sort of very similar to him. What's your take on updating the lore in the game that way?
I like that the model range is following the lore because we've moved forward, and well, they're just humans; they're not going to last very long. So it's good that they're kind of having a succession. I do suspect some players probably pretty upset when their favorite character doesn't get to be part of the game anymore at some point. But
Yeah, for sure.
interesting.
Do you think the old sort of you guys think the old Cadian box is not much longer for this world? I think last year they released the old '90s Cadian box of Plastic Trooper or 2000s or whenever, with an upgrade sprue. But now it seems to be we're moving more to the car skin aesthetic. Um, Danny, do you think that the old Cadian box is finally going to go away?
No, I mean maybe it might get recut or something. Although that happened pretty recently, didn't it? It happened with 8th edition guard book, I think, or maybe it was the 7th edition guard book. I feel like it got recut though, like they added special weapons to it and stuff like that.
These guys,
oh yeah, and heads.
yeah,
Remember all the heads they
this
added?
guy here. Yeah, it comes with like a bunch of extra heads, a bunch of extra arms, a pointing finger, which if anyone knows how I hobby, if you have a pointing finger in your box, I'm going to put that on there.
Chock full of head.
Chock full, yeah. We'll leave it at that there. I won't even repeat it. Chuck, what do you want to see from the new guard? We're getting to see like the Sentinels, the Carskins, where we're seeing new special character, a new commissar that looks really awesome. What do you want to see from the Astra Militarum as a range?
I would like them to be able to play sub 100 models and still be cool, and I have no idea what that looks like. I guess it's a lot of tanks. I think people like tanks, so probably in that direction. I don't really know. They've been lost and bad for so long. I don't even know what their identity is anymore.
For sure.
Yeah,
And then guys,
that's a great point.
what's a guard kit that's in desperate need of an update? Like we saw the Sentinels got updated, Commissar was updated. Like what is a kit where you're like, man, they need to update that?
Catechins.
But then
No.
where will you get your Corn Berserker arms from?
It's Danny is completely wrong. That kit is beautiful and perfect, exactly like it is, and you don't touch it.
Don't apologize for it.
I was going to say every Chimera chassis and everything that uses the Chimera chassis, but no, I just have to agree with Danny now. They need to be bigger and have more muscles.
No,
yeah, I agree with that.
So
more muscles.
It just looks like a roided out Space Marine without armor, but also with a vest.
Look,
put them on 40mm bases, like just unbelievably big.
I need girthy guard, John. That's what I'm here for.
Man, so producer Dick, if you can give me the timestamp on that one for like a little short,
we're gonna need that.
We're gonna need that for later there. I want to see rattlings, updated rattlings.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Or just a nice little multi-part kit. I want 17 pieces per rattling. And I want it to be monopose, but in a way that leaves gaps between the shoulder and the arm here. Just
preferably like hands that are two different parts. You know, that kind
of thing. Like one being the back of the hand, the other being the finger, and then
perfect.
the gun
and
being
then
a separate third piece.
You break it just trying to clip it off. That's where I want to be.
Yeah, or lose it.
Right.
Love it. Danny, you had something to add in there?
Nope.
Love it. Because Danny wants multi-part sniper guns for rattlings.
I do. I absolutely do, John. Give it to me.
You figured out how to like beat all of my jokes is by just agreeing with me. I hate that.
I've been building some multi-part Mark 6 Marines, and they have multi-part shoulder pads. So I'm here for it.
Well, as a Death Guard player, I've dealt with multi-part shoulder pads for years now, and they're the worst thing ever existed. We quickly turn to older corners of the community with this Spiky Bits article. Presented without context, without article, without heading, but Rob Bear's lovely face in the corner still. It says, the math doesn't add up for the pricing of Horus Heresy. Guys, do we think he's referring to the cost of repairing Terra, or is this kind of like a model kit thing? Like a turning
Rogaldorn's
point
new
30K?
economic plan just doesn't add up for the Imperium. It doesn't tax the richest rich by enough to make sure that we can cover
There's
Soylent Green for all the conscripts. It's bad.
There's just a bunch of like broken walls on Terra with a bunch of stickers with Rogaldorn pointing saying I did that.
Yeah.
It's just
Look, the name is Spiky Bits, and it's commentary on the Imperium. It is
Yes.
clearly fake news.
That's fair. They're saying that sorry, you were saying?
Oh, it's just very deep state. I wouldn't trust this at all.
Yes.
Seems right.
Stating that the price pretty much for the Horus Heresy box doesn't add up, as it technically would be cheaper to buy the kit in British pounds and have it shipped to America. That was kind of the gist of the article. I did write some very hard-hitting questions here I want you both to answer. It's going to be very long-form answers, I know you understand. Guys, does anyone really care?
5 people.
About Spiky Bits?
About the conversion rate not adding up between the US and America?
No.
Warhammer, what if? What if GW launched a new series? I cropped it this way because I really liked the construction of this question. Like, it doesn't specify what series. It's just asking us, what if they launched a thing? Which I super, super like. What, Danny, I have a question for you. What if this happened?
To be honest, I don't know how I'd react. This is a serious consideration that I think all real, true 40K fans have to consider. How is my life going to change when Games Workshop releases a new series based on content that they own? I don't know, John. Honestly, my life, it might just be over. That's it. I'm done. There's no coming back from this. Like, I think we're screwed, and the game is over.
Guys, as you might know, Danny has been knee-deep in 30K this entire week, reading rules and assembling models, and his mind state really reflects that at this point here. Chuck, what this article is actually talking about is Warhammer possibly creating like a what-if series, very similar to kind of like the recent Marvel what-if series on Disney+, or kind of the Marvel Comics what-if. I did get a little salty in the chat because someone was like, oh, I'd hate for them to go down the Disney Marvel route. And I'm like, yeah, who would want to be a successful multi-billion-dollar company? But
not me.
Like, no, not me for sure. I mean, Chuck, is there, and this is of course coming from what if Horus won the 30K wars in a Warhammer community article. What's the benefits of creating a what if style content for Warhammer?
Well, one of the things I really like about Warhammer is its grim, dark feel and how everybody's the bad guy and everything is ruined. And if Horus had won, it would just everything would be great. Everything would be handled well. Everybody would be happy. So really, I don't think it has legs. It's not interesting. So
yeah, and we're just going to point out here real quick, Chuck actually is a Chaos player as well, so it might be slight bias in that thing there.
No, it's just very even keeled.
Denny, what are some interesting stories you can tell if you're free from the chains of canon? Like, what is your pitch for a Warhammer what if show?
I guess I would. So if I were going to pitch a Warhammer what if show, I think I'd make almost like a documentary style series on how milk is produced in the 41st millennium and whether boxes or bags are a better way to distribute milk to the greater Imperium.
Oh, they don't fill skulls with it? I just assumed it would be skulls full of milk.
Maybe. Yeah, it might be skull milk.
Yeah.
Just might be skulls.
All I know is you don't want to see the Imperium's milking factory in the grim darkness of the far future.
That is some Slaneshi stuff. You don't want to go there.
Maybe we're not here to shame, unless you ask to see a milk factory. Chuck, thank you so much for coming on. We'll have you back in anytime. Guys, Daddy and I will be back next week if the old Seward McDonald's lets us, to talk to John Paul, who is FLG writer and hobby guru who does some of the amazing hobby articles you see
Awesome.
on the Frontline Gaming's blog. I can't wait to talk to the guy. It's going to be super awesome. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll be back next Monday. And as always, it's pretty grim after dark.